I want to break Sanchin down to some of its parts. So the first part of Sanchin is the opening, which is very important. So we open with our left foot, and as our hands come back, we form what's called nukites, or spear hands. Our thumbs are tucked in and our fingers together. We put them on our belt, right at our hip level. We step out with our foot, in this case, the right foot. We turn our foot at about 30 degrees. Our rear foot is straight, and our heel and our toe is aligned. So if you were to look at our feet from the side, you would see that my heel of my right foot is in line with the toes of my left foot. That's very, very important in our stance. So once again, my heels and my toes are aligned. My right foot is pointed in about 30 degrees. My rear foot is straight. I'm going to pull my hands back on my hips with the nukite position. I'm going to strike forward very hard. I'm doing this softly so we can see it on film clearly. I'm then going to make fists, roll my fingers in, and here I'm going to think about lifting up buckets of water, very heavy buckets of water. So as I pick them up, my shoulders are going down because the water is really heavy. When I finally come up to about my shoulder height, my hands open up. I'm still in the nukite position. There's a slight V formed with my arms into my stomach, and I'm holding that position very strongly. Now, where we put our hands is very important as well. And how we know where to put our hands is we first make a fist. We put our thumb on top of our fist, and we use that to judge the distance from our elbow to our body. And then we put our fingers as high as our shoulders, and that's the proper Sanchin position. The reason we have this space here of about 4 inches is because our buffer zone, if we're hitting our hand or kicked, we will not break our own ribs. If our hand was here and our elbow touching our body, we would break our own ribs if we were kicked or hit. So we want to keep it about 3 to 4 inches out from our body with our elbow in line with our shoulders. So that's basically the Sanchin beginning position. All our weight is down. We're pushing down towards the mat. We are gripping the floor. Everything is tight. The next part of the Sanchin is the thrust. We're always going to thrust off the rear foot because that is our power foot. So we pull our left hand over our right in this case, pull it back to a punching position, and we thrust coming straight out. And then we bring our hand back to our Sanchin starting position. If you notice, my right hand is static. It's not moving. It is locked into position. Then we're going to do a Sanchin step, which begins with turning the right foot straight, coming and doing a crescent step, putting my left foot in the same position my right foot was in, and now I'm in my left Sanchin position. Now I'm going to thrust with the right hand, same thrust, my left hand is static. I'm pushing out, I'm bringing my hand back, straightening my left foot, crescent walk with my right, back into the right stance. So Sanchin, if you look at my feet, is a series of crescent steps. Front foot is always 30 degrees in, straighten the foot, step, place the foot down, turn, step, turn, step. One note is that you are always turning on the balls of your feet, never on the heels. So you're always lifting your heel up slightly, straighten your foot out, your toes come down first. We don't ever want to do that, and we don't ever want to do that. You cannot maintain your balance if you're on your heels. So we turn our foot straight on our balls of our feet down, straighten, turn, etc. You also want to make sure that when you are stepping forward and you turn your foot, as you step with your other foot, neither foot readjusts itself. What I mean by that is once you move your foot, it stays in that position. So when you put your front foot down, it wants to be in that 30 degree position without having to adjust it. Okay, so that's the stepping, that's the thrusting. It's actually quite easy. It takes a little while to get your body to drop your weight and get the strength, but that is the basic stepping. The middle of the kata, you saw double arm thrust. I'm going to do those out of the right stance. Double arm thrust, you bring both of your arms back. You thrust straight out. Upon contact, you make a fist. You pull back. Halfway point, you start to open your fists. Come back to double thrusting position. And we just do that 3 times. So that would be number 2. and that would be number 3. After the 3 one, we make a fist. We open our hands. When we open our hands, our fingers are together, our thumbs are in, and we have a slight curve in our hand. And that curve is called a dragon claw, because it's just like a dragon holding onto a ball. So after that third thrust, we make the fist, we open our hands, and you look from the side, it's curved like a ball, like a dragon claw. Okay, after we have our hands here, we're going to step to the side. I'm going to show you the steps first, then I'll show you the hand position. So we're going to look to our right. In this case, we're going to step to our right. Then we're going to look behind us and step behind us. Then we're going to look forward and step forward. If you notice, my feet are in the same position. I started in Sanchin. They came down in the proper position. Okay, when we turn, we're going to do what's called a Wauki block. So let me show you the block first. This is the basis of all blocks in the Pengainun Wei Chi system. The block is always going to happen off of the front leg. So we're going to drop our front arm down and turn it out. And important thing is to maintain the Sanchin position. Again, if you remember, the Sanchin position is 3 to 4 inches off of your ribs and your hands, your fingers even with your shoulders. So we're going to maintain that position by just dropping our arm without bending our elbow. We're going to turn our hand out. So we're in Sanchin, we drop our arm, we turn our hand out. Our left hand is going to come on top of our elbow. So that may look familiar by now. It is the first part of the thrust. So what we're going to do is drop the right hand, keep the elbow in the same position, bring the left hand on the right elbow, and now we're going to do a big circular wave and come back down into our Sanchin position. So let's watch that again. We're in Sanchin. We drop the right arm, the left arm comes to the right. We do a wave. From here now, we're going to take our right hand, drop it down to our belt. We're going to bring our right hand across up to our breast, and we're going to push our opponent away. Then we're going to bring our hands back to that Sanchin position. So remember, the Sanchin position is here. All I've done is drop my hands and reposition them. So once again, we do the double arm thrust. This will be the last one. We make the fists. We open them up to the Sanchin position with our dragon claws. We drop our right hand. Our left hand comes across to the elbow. Keep our thumbs and fingers in. We do a wave in front of our eyes, which is a block. We drop the right hand down to our belt. Left hand back to our breast. We push out and we come back. So let's look at that whole series from the double arm thrust. I'll take it from the last thrust. So I'm in a right stance. I do my last thrust. Now I do double arm thrust. So 1. Now I keep my weight down. 2, 3. Make my fist. Open to my dragon claws. I'm stepping to the right. Dropping my right arm. My left hand on my right elbow. Doing my block. Right hand goes down to my waist. Left hand goes to my breast. I push my opponent away. I bring my hands back. Now I'm going to turn behind me because there's another opponent coming. So I'm stepping to meet my another opponent. I drop my left hand in this case because my left leg is forward. I do the block. I pull my left hand down to my belt, my right hand up, just the opposite of what we did with our right leg forward. I strike. Now I step toward my third opponent, drop my right hand again, do the block, drop the right hand to my belt, left hand to my breast, push away. Now at the end of the kata, as we step back, as our hands start to come back, we step into the neutral position and we do a left over right hand position, which is peace and friendship. And we lower our weight, we pull down as much as we can, we grip the floor, then we bow with our right leg closing to our left leg. And there you go. That's the basis of Sanchin.